conflictos y violencias. Nos iremos donde esté Dios, con mucho amor para los dos. Welcome to my friends, all my friends around the world. To those that been knowing me already, it's a great pleasure to be with you tonight. And to those who don't know me, my name is Dr. Julio Antonio del Mar. The Cuban Lightning, my code name. I here with you tonight in this particular location, what I actually, many years ago in the 80s, I've been arrested by the Secret Service. And unfortunately, mistreated, and you will see the rest in my books. I just want to give you just a little hint in what actually we doing today. And what we doing is correcting history. Because what you hear in television, what you hear everywhere, in the radio or whatever, is never the facts and the really what transpired at that time, and you read completely bogus, even the headline titles in the newspapers were completely deceived. The reason for my arrest is because I've been a part to the intelligence community for many, many years of my life. And unfortunately, one of our guys betrayed us and sold out ourselves to the phony, what we can call phony, or the other bad side to our enemies. What they have some ramifications inside to the law enforcement and etc., etc., etc. One of the reasons I am involved in all this, you ask yourself, you know, I wealthy and educated individual involved in something like they say counterfeit, but it's not really counterfeit money, it's actually cloning money. It's because I work with the President of the United States, Ronald Reagan, and he asked the Congress for funding to stop the socialists and communists in South and Central America. And actually the Congress denied that funding. Then President Reagan came to me as a very great relationship we have and asked me to please do this for the best to humanity. If we don't do this, we actually will lose our freedom and our country will probably eventually collapse. And then I am involved in this situation. What he actually bring me a lot of sorrow, get a humongous controversy all over the country because they interrupt even the Olympics to put my face in there. But it's a great embarrassment for me and my family and my closest friends and the people know me for many, many years, that they don't know what I'm doing. But that is motivating also, or the reason what our enemies has been behind me trying to put me down. They tried to kill me 56 times. One of the times happened in front of my house, and one of the occasions where they put a bomb and blow up the car, miscalculating that I will be leaving early that day, and since God and the destiny, the trip is delayed, and what happened, that particular delay saved my life. But what I want to tell you today is to please read my books. I want you be prepared to what is coming. We got situations before bad in this country, but this situation we have today is very, very bad. And I want you be prepared and be alert to how you can stop those bad people, corrupt politicians, to take your freedom, your country, and all what you have, including your religion. I hope that you listen one more time what I recommend to you and learn from my experience, and don't suffer what I suffer all my life. I'm going to once more let you know that I will be really appreciated if you earn and learn the ways to survive and to fight against these enemies that try to control and destroy your country. That is going to be my great satisfaction, not to sell the books, not to make movies or anything like that. Thank you, and you have a great evening, and I hope my experience served to you as a great tool to defend yourself.
Dr. Marmol prepares to depart for the United States a few weeks later.
It's not easy to put at risk for the good of humanity, but Dr. Julio Antonio del Marmol did it over and over again. At the age of 12, he became the military leader in the Cuban Revolution, and 6 months later became the youngest spy for the West. 10 years later, he has escaped with his cover blown, suing for 12 hours to Guantanamo. 40 years later, he fearlessly confronted a U.S. president who embraced the communist regime. You will find the details in the lightning and
what you might think is impossible is already in motion. This is coming from someone who has survived and managed to escape these miseries. You will lose your family and all what you work for. I want you to be aware of it and find the way to stop it. If you love your God, your country, and you want to keep it, then you must educate yourself. Read my books. This is my final mission. I've been living my life from when I'm 11 years old, inside to the belly to the monster. In 1959, the revolution went. Castro was fascinated. He said, I want you to be the organizer for my army in the future. He pulled out his briefcase, pulled a weapon, gun. This is for you. You're going to be the commander, the supreme commander to my forces for the future. Che Guevara take me this morning to the building where they're training all the people, the executives. They're going to take over not only the phone company, the electrical company, and they're not going to stop according to Che Guevara until they take even the hot dog stand. If this happened, my father going to lose everything he worked all his life. My father. And I say, oh my God, what we've been doing. I tell my uncle, I live in Cuba. I said, why you live in Cuba? Don't leave Cuba. Stay with us. We will train you, and you want to be the best, to the best that we have.
And so who did your uncle work for?
I believe CIA, Mossad, everywhere, intelligence community. I come to be an intelligence source to the West.
Shock, awe, disbelief. Despite his best efforts, the Cuban Lightning was unable to change the course of history and stop the assassination of JFK. With the dictators in Cuba rising in power, the Cuban Lightning must again put his life in further danger in an attempt to subdue the aftermath of JFK's death and get revenge on those responsible for this historic event. In his journey, the Lightning finds upcoming assassination plans of other world and religious leaders yet to come. As Cuba falls into further turmoil, it is now evident that no one is safe.
Fidel Castro promised freedom, prosperity, and a land of milk and honey. Instead, the citizens of the island nation of Cuba received only death and despair. A young boy grows up during the revolution in Cuba. A self-proclaimed hero takes over the country. The young boy follows in his footsteps. Castro's rule quickly turns into a dictatorship. Thousands are executed. The boy sees his illusion shattered. The world's youngest spy is born. Part of Castro's inner circle, the boy, Julio Antonio del Marmol, is the leader of the Young Commandos, a communist youth organization. Fidel gives him a gun, a uniform, and his trust. The boy sees the brutality of Che, the cowardice of Raúl, and the ruthlessness of Fidel Castro. Now he is in the middle of a swirling vortex of death, betrayal, and greed, a game like that of Russian roulette. A game the whole world is playing with Cuba. Cuba, Russian Roulette of the World, by Julio Antonio del Marmol.
I am Dr. Julio Antonio del Marmol, best known in the intelligence circles as the Cuban Lightning. For 10 years, I was an undetected spy in Cuba. I took classified information from the fresh ring of the Cuban government, including the offices of Fidel Castro. In 1971, my cover was blown I was forced to leave Cuba. I became officially a freedom fighter and an international intelligence advisor. 17 years later, O'Brien, a direct contact with the president, assigned me to lead the most classified important operation codenamed the Zipper. It involved the printing of clone currency to collapse the Soviet economy and tear down the Berlin Wall. In 1989, the U.S. Secret Service arrested and indicted me for the largest case of the counterfeit currency in the history of USSR. As an insurance policy, I deposited classified documents and recorded conversations in safety security boxes in different banks around the world. While I developed the Zipper, I discovered the Cuban government involvement in the global distribution of cocaine with General Ochoa, Pablo Escobar, and Panamanian President Manuel Noriega. Operation Tanga Negra. Because I knew Fidel Castro so well, I was aware of his passion and personal love for the Rottweiler dogs. This presented us the opportunity to plant a little spy eye to transmit his movements and plans. If you would like to know the real truth, if you want to laugh, cry, and have a great time, come with me on this adventure and I will take you to discover something you have neither imagined nor seen in the dark news before. Out of the darkness you will see the light of truth through the eyes of the Cuban lightning. They asked me to do something. Oh God, I say, this is unbelievable. And this is a Secret Service, United States Secret Service. They send me a guy who do the printing. They send me a truck with paper, magnetic ink, and all the stuff. We rent a place. We get to the point that we start to printing money. Day and night, day and night, day and night. Got 3 shifts, people there. I can't tell you how much money we print. If it's billions, if it's millions, or it's trillions.
It was authorized by the U.S. government to pay for what?
For covert operations. The Berlin Wall don't coming down because somebody goes. The money that we printed is never appeared anywhere.
Where is it?
I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Hidden beneath the lies and cover-ups. The details are unbelievable and controversial. Julio Antonio DeMarmol, a seemingly innocent 13-year-old boy, with his ever-watchful eyes, is really the infamous Cuban lightning. Nuclear missiles. Communist revolutions. The lies and cover-ups grow by the minute, culminating in a meeting with Jakob Leon Rubinstein, or as his friends call him, Jack Ruby.
Hello, I am Dr. Julio Antonio del Marmo. I've been a spy for 60 years of my life. Now, in my old age, I tell my stories and write books, documentaries, films. We intend to do television series and also major motion pictures.
In Part 2, The Havana Conspiracies, Julio Antonio de Marmol, the Cuban Lightning, penetrates the most secret of submarine bases and terrorist training camps. The elaborate scheme to not only intimidate world leaders, but assassinate them as well, is in a much more advanced operational stage than previously thought. But Shay's plans did not end there. The Lightning discovers the terrifying scheme to kill thousands, blame the United States, and pocket millions in insurance fraud. Suspicion arises that a mole had penetrated the inner circle. It is all Julio Antonio can do to continue retrieving important documents for his friends in intelligence network without triggering Shay's intense paranoia. It is only after the documents are analyzed did the Lightning realize the sheer magnitude of what he had uncovered and what truly was behind the Havana conspiracies.
Courage is not easy to find. That courage is what Dr. Julio Antonio del Marmol possessed as he confronted the evil and establishment forces at the early age of 12, risking it all by being the youngest commander in the Cuban Revolution. He turned against the power of the elite and became the youngest spy in history. You will find all the details in The Cuban Lightning, The Zipper, and Keep a Russian Roulette of the World.
The reason I bring you guys here today to this location where I being arrested by the Secret Service many years ago is because I want to teach you how to you defend yourself, and using this from my experience, and you don't have to use these ever.